Hi everyone, it's Lisa Brown with InkandInspirations.com. I'm an independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up! And in this video we're going to be making this cute little Valentine treat bag with this little otter from the Hey Love stamp set from the Stampin' Up! Occasions catalog, and it holds one of these Russell Stover chocolate hearts. So let's get started. First, you need a piece of designer paper that is cut at 5.5 by 8. I'm sorry, 5 by 8.5. And this piece is from the Tranquil Textures Designer Series paper collection from the Stampin' Up! Annual Catalog, 2018-2019. So I'm going to get my Simply Score tool up here, and we're going to do some scoring on this long side. We're going to score at 1, 4, 5, and 8. And then we're going to turn it with the 5-inch side up at the top and score at 1 and 4 1/2. Okay, we'll get this simply scored out of the way. And let's do some burnishing with our bone folder on these score lines to put this bag together. You could make this bag out of cardstock, but this way the designer paper is printed and you can choose a solid or this mottled look like I have here that I thought would go well with that little otter. And I could use this other side too, and just whatever you want for your print. Okay, on this little 1/2-inch score, I'm going to fold it backwards because it's just going to be our top closure and make it a little easier to close. Okay, so let's get our paper snips, and we're going to do this 1/2-inch little rectangle here and cut that completely off. And then we're going to cut up to that 1-inch score on the rest of these scored lines here. Okay. All right, so now the bag is going to come together like this. We're going to match this edge with that little 1/2-inch tab. And so I'm going to get some adhesive. And for this little bag, I'm going to go ahead and use some tear-in tape because it's a good, strong adhesive. And just line it up on that little tab. Let's burnish that a little bit, and we'll pull off this paper. And then bring this other side around. Match the top edges there. And then come along just like that. Okay? All right. So now we're going to form the bag bottom. We're going to push in the 2 side tabs, and then this is the back where the seam is, so I'm going to push that tab in next. This will be the front tab, and I'm going to use a piece of tear-in tape again on that. Tear that off, burnish it a bit, and just peel that paper right off. Okay, so I'm going to take my bone folder and just tap down on that to secure it a bit. Okay, then you pinch in just a tad, and that little score makes a neat little closure at the top, and we're going to use a library clip on that. So let me get my little candy and just slip that right in. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and close that top with one of our gold library clips, and then we can do some stamping. Okay, all right. Next I have some crumb cake scrap cardstock, and we are going to be stamping the little otter and coloring him with some Stampin' Blends. I'm going to be using I believe I have the light cherry cobbler and the light crumb cake. So since we're using our blends, let's go ahead and get our Memento ink, and we're going to ink up this little otter, and I'm going to stamp him once right here, because I'm going to punch him out in just a bit. Then I want another one of those little hearts, so I'm going to stamp it down here, and I'm going to color that and then fussy cut it out, okay? All right, so let me get the light crumb cake, and I'm going to use the brush tip in and just very easily color this little guy. And he's got his little hands folded in front of him, and I thought that would be a really cute place to put another little heart. Okay, so I'm going to leave the bottom of his feet without color, as well as this center part and around his mouth and nose. Okay, and so let me get his tail. All right, now I'm going to take the light real red and color this heart up here, and then this heart right here. Okay, so now I'm going to take my everyday label punch and slide that in just like that, and try to center him where I don't cut his tail off or the heart. So that'll be good, just like that. I'm trying to center there a bit. Okay, and now I'm going to take this little heart that I stamped. I just needed a partial piece of that little image, so I just stamped that on the edge of the paper there, and then I'm going to cut it out with my snips, and then put just a little bit of adhesive on the back there, and stick it right there over his little hands. Okay, let me see, right there. All right, so now to back him, I have a piece of cherry cobbler cardstock. I'm going to punch another everyday label, and then I'm going to take my snips and cut it in half and use this to border it out, top and bottom. So I'll just take this and line it up where it extends a bit beyond the crumb cake, and then do it again for the bottom. And then I see I have a little bit extending on this side, so I'm going to trim that off. Okay, that's good. Let me take my snips and just trim this a bit. Okay, so that's ready to go. Now, I want a little backdrop here, so I'm taking some Night of Navy and my 2¼ inch circle punch. I'm going to punch that out. And then I have one more, the sentiment to stamp. And so we're going to just stamp that in the Memento Black, and then very easily just snip that out with our paper snips. So I love it. You oughter be my Valentine. You oughter. All right, let me go ahead and cut this out. Oh, that's a little smeared. Let me try it again. There we go. All right. Cut this out just with some snips. I'm just going to go around it. Cut in a straight line, but it doesn't have to be perfectly straight. It'll still be so cute. All right, now let's get this assembled, shall we? I'm going to put this, which is the Night of Navy circle, and it makes that crumb cake and that cherry cobbler really stand out against the other background. And then let's take our otter. Let's see. Just like that. I was kind of wishing I had put it a little higher on the bag, but we'll be good as long as I don't extend beyond the bottom here. Okay, and then this little sentiment, I think I'm going to come on this side this time. So let me get a couple of Stampin' Dimensionals, maybe just one. Okay, I'm going to put that there. Okay, and then to add a little bit more color, I have taken this double stitched cherry cobbler ribbon from the annual catalog, and I cut a piece of that. It's about 5 inches long, and I doubled it and then tied a bow of our baker's twine around it to hold it together. And then I'm going to take a mini glue dot, and this time I'm going to put it on this side. Okay, and there we have a cute little treat with the Hey Love stamp set from the Occasions catalog. I love this little alternative to the traditional Valentine sets. I thought it was super cute. So I hope you'll give that a try. If you have any questions, let me know. Visit my website at inkandinspirations.com, and I'll see you again soon. Take care. Bye-bye.